Good afternoon. Phil Lindemann, Krystal, 93 News. This Monday's fatal police shooting in Silverthorne was the second in 4 months after 8 years with no fatal gun violence in Summit. On the Krystal Morning Show today, Summit Sheriff Jamie Fitzsimons fears this is the start of a new trend.
This is not about the responsible gun owners. I keep hearing from people with guns. We are not talking about you.
He points to 3 recent cases of armed road rage, including one in Peak 7, where a shot was fired.
We're talking about these knuckleheads, these crooks running around with guns and then confronting law enforcement. And how do you think that's going to end?
The suspect in Monday's shooting, 27-year-old Connor James Hart, was armed and fired at least once during several attempted carjackings. He was fleeing on foot when police shot and killed him. Dozens of locals are now scrambling for work with ski season looming after 4 small businesses closed in the past month. Val Connolly, owner of Southern Exposure Salon in Dillon, spent 2 years struggling to find employees.
I have always enjoyed that business and have always been proud of it, but you get to a point I was tired.
Southern Exposure has been open 20 years. Connolly owned it for 11. At the Baker's Brewery in Silverthorne, competition was the killer. General Manager Corey Forster.
With all the added competition over the last few years, there's just not enough butts and enough seats on enough nights of the week.
Baker's had been open 8 years. Down the road in Silverthorne, the Pad Hotel and Hostel declared bankruptcy after failing to refinance a 2-year-old construction loan worth nearly $13 million. Co-owner Lynn Bear.
We have a great team. We have a whole gamut of investors that we, need to get this product to be successful. So there's not really an option to not continue to fight the fight.
In Breckenridge, Opry Handcrafted Libations closed after 10 years for a landlord dispute. In Dillon, Arapahoe Cafe closed after more than 22 years for a property dispute. In Silverthorne, Niels Lunsford recently sold to a Denver company, Weston Landscape and Design. Longtime Niels partner Abe Hoffman believes this made the 42-year-old company stronger.
Niels Lunsford is here to stay. It's looking really good for us in the next couple of years moving forward.
But even Hoffman admits he is paying more than ever for overhead and wages. It is the common thread for each owner we talk to. Money is tight and getting tighter. The ghouls are back in Breckenridge. Young and old were getting spooked last night at the Haunting of Breckenridge Theater, the interactive haunted house in downtown Breck, this year with an Edgar Allan Poe theme.
It was very immersive, like the signs said it was, and so I felt like I was in the story.
It's become a Halloween tradition where actors play the leads and volunteers, some as young as 8, supply the screams.
Well, it was scary. They did some pretty jump out stuff, and that was cool.
The Haunting of Breckenridge Theater continues all weekend with kid-friendly shows in the afternoon, PG-13 shows after dark. Local fire danger is low today, still with no fire restrictions. In sports, the Avalanche play the Blackhawks tonight at 8:30 on ESPN. And in local sports, today on the Warmup from iFurnish in Frisco and Kremling.
How can I help this team? How can I train them? How can I give them tips even though they may be faster than me or slower than me? It didn't really matter.
That was Mason Westcott, junior co-captain on the Summit High mountain bike team. He and fellow captain Isaac York are going to the state championships this weekend in Glenwood, where Isaac will be on the sidelines.
I just barely missed it. 1 point behind Mason, 26th place, so just narrowly missed it.
But Isaac's not bummed. It's the opposite.
I'm actually going to be getting to have a coaching experience. I'm doing the feed zones, warming up all of our riders, and just kind of get a new experience at the race, a new side of it.
Summit heads into state ranked 2nd in the division behind Steamboat. This has been the warm-up with local athletes. In other preps, Summit High Volleyball is playing Battle Mountain at home tonight for senior night. Cross country's running at regionals in Grand Junction. Boys soccer's on the road for Steamboat. Phil Lindemann, Krystal, 93 News.